Hello, good morning. I'm Jack Blanchard.
And I'm Dasha Burns. It is Wednesday, June 4th.
And this is the Playbook podcast. How are you doing, Dasha? Are you still somewhere on the West Coast?
I am. It is graduation day today for my little sister, Caitlin.
Oh, awesome. Good for her. I hope it goes well. I hope it goes better than my house move, which is still there. In fact, I don't want to talk about my house move. It's a brutal business, isn't it?
It's a brutal business.
3 big stories driving the day. And the first one, I mean, everyone's talking about it, Dasha. Elon Musk goes to war with MAGA.
Man, oh man. The chainsaw is back and it is turned on the White House.
You bet. Right. We'll get into all of that in just a sec. The second big story that's really driving the day today is tariffs. Donald Trump's big increase of steel and aluminium imports comes into effect this morning. And that is obviously going to have a big impact on the US economy, big impact on lots and lots of businesses.
Oh, yeah. Canada, Carney is already out blasting this. This is another turn in the saga.
Good news for the UK, which seems to have got a carve out from it, because the UK is still the only country that's actually signed a trade deal with America since all this tariff business started.
And they're reaping the benefits. Okay.
Reaping the benefits just goes to show. It did remind me, though, we were supposed to see a lot more of these trade deals.
I was going to say there are still, I think that's still the only one that has been signed.
It's still the only one. And I remember watching Donald Trump's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, on, I can't quite remember which channel, but being asked, are you really going to get all of these trade deals done in this 90-day pause, as it was on the reciprocal tariffs? And he's like, yeah, you can get 100 trade deals done in 100 days or whatever. Well, we've had one, and there's just about a month to go now until that pause is supposed to lift. It's not looking terribly good in that sense.
And other countries are lining up. They've been trying to get through and have these conversations. It's not for lack of interest, I think, from both parties. It's a complicated and gargantuan task to do something like this.
You bet, it certainly is. And we should say as well, Donald Trump's still expected to talk to President Xi this week of China about tariffs. We've been saying that all week. Still hasn't happened. Maybe it'll happen today.
Yeah, I was going to say, are we going to repeat ourselves? We should just clip this part of the segment and play it again tomorrow. When is Trump talking to Xi?
I'm just expecting this big story to explode. Maybe we'll be saying it forever, man. And they'll just think these guys are never going to talk. Who knows? A third headline just to look out for today is that Donald Trump's first round of judicial picks is heading for congressional vetting today. That's obviously a big deal for this term, because we know how much these judicial changes can have in terms of a long-term impact on a presidency and on the legacy of a presidency. And we're going to see a lot more of this over the months ahead as well.
Yeah, and it's an interesting political story as well, because Trump has recently kind of gone to war a little bit, or to battle at least, with the Federalist Society, which played a huge role in helping him choose judicial nominees last time around. Leonard Leo, who's been advising Republican presidents for a long time about this. And there is some concern among conservatives about what this break with this longstanding Republican institution is going to mean for Trump's judicial picks going forward.
You bet. He'll have to get his advice from somewhere else, presumably. Anyway, let's talk about Elon Musk, shall we? We don't need to dwell on any of this. This is the story all of DC is talking about. If you were hiding under a rock yesterday, I can inform you that at about 1:30 in the afternoon.
In the middle of Caroline Leavitt's press briefing, by the way.
Right in the middle of it. Absolutely. Really quite brutal timing from Elon. He decided to go to war with the Republican Party over the mega bill, as we're calling it, that's making its way through Congress at the moment. And he really went for it. There were, I counted, Dasha, 13 different posts on X over a few hours yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, he wasn't shy about it, was he?
You know, Elon gonna Elon, right? If he does it, he's going to do it. And he really did it. He called the bill outrageous, pork-filled, disgusting, and abomination. He said, shame on those who voted for it.
Shame.
And this is a guy, Dasha, who was doing a friendly, cozy press conference with Donald Trump literally last Friday afternoon.
Oh, 2 minutes ago. Yeah.
Right. Here we are today, absolutely going for it.
Things move quickly in Trump's Washington. Friends become frenemies and enemies. This was not entirely surprising. We even saw Musk come out and criticize some of the administration's moves while he was a special government employee and hanging out with Trump like every single day. This is probably the one person in, I was going to say Washington, but the United States, maybe the world even, that is very comfortable and not at all afraid to come and very openly and harshly in this case say negative things about something that Trump is trying to achieve. That doesn't mean he's not going to get his share of blowback from the White House as well, though.
At the heart of what Elon Musk's complaint appears to be is the amount that this bill increases the US already very large deficit, already very high debt. He was brought in by the White House to cut spending. So this is like going totally against the things that he was trying to do. Now, in public, as you said, Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, really got caught on the hop by this, probably wasn't expecting it. She said very pithily, the president already knows where Elon Musk stood on this bill. It doesn't change his president's opinion. It's one big, beautiful bill. He is sticking to it. That is the public line. How surprised do you think they were in private by this in the White House? And more importantly, how are they reacting? How are they going to react to what Elon Musk is now doing?
Well, so we have some new reporting out from our colleagues, our two Adams, Adam Wren and Adam Kenkren, and myself. So I made some calls on this. And look, not surprising, the White House is very unhappy here. One senior White House official told me, quote, "The West Wing is perplexed, unenthused, and disappointed with Musk." Now, what the White House is arguing privately, and they're pushing folks to look into this, is that Musk is basically lashing out because this bill does harm his business interests. So the legislation, as it's currently written, it terminates tax credits that Tesla really relies on. Tesla's 11.4 billion in regulatory credits would expire at the end of 2025 with this bill, and a number of other EV tax credits that Tesla benefits from would be eliminated. So you can't ignore that glaring piece of it, as we've been reporting how much Musk's relationship with this White House has also benefited his businesses, right?
Right. Although he didn't manage to get this EV mandate thing taken out of the bill for all his influence. It's interesting to me to see people around the White House Republican Party pushing this line. We heard it from Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, yesterday as well. He said it's not personal. I know the EV mandate is very important to him. It's going away. It's going to have an effect on his business. Very keen to present this as not an ideological thing, not as someone who really, on a personal level, dislikes this bill, but someone who's sticking up for their business. I just wonder how true that is. I mean, what Elon Musk is saying about debt and concerns about the levels of the US debt is not exactly a controversial point, right? I also think there's something in it for Elon Musk to be putting some distance between himself and the GOP, right? Part of the reason it's kind of in his interest to get out of the government is because of what was happening to Tesla. So maybe headlines saying, Elon Musk falls out of the GOP might not be the worst thing for Elon Musk.
No, I think you're totally right that there's a lot wrapped up in this. Like, Elon is making some points that other Republicans have made about their concerns when it comes to this bill. And yeah, people are setting his Teslas on fire, and that's not so good. I wonder, someone brought it to me, like, is there room for Democrats to lure Elon into the fold?
Would they even want him?
Elon's brand is now a tricky one to sell, especially given he's now lashing out at the people he was just so cozy with, right? So this is somebody that you cannot control,
right,
and he has very few things that he really, really cares about. Like, there isn't a lot of leverage with Musk because he just wants to work really, really hard and go to Mars and be heard, right? So there isn't a lot you can sort of lord over him in the way that this White House can with members of Congress and others, for example.
I remember when Elon came into government at the start of the year, all the stories, all the chat was like, when are these two going to fall out? It's going to be spectacular when it does. It's obviously going to happen given their personality types.
And there were blow-ups with Elon and staff. I mean, Musk and Besant had their thing. There were plenty of scuffles inside the White House.
Right. But not with Trump himself,
not with
right?
Trump
not
himself.
Really. And if I'm understanding you rightly from the calls you've made, we're seeing the White House, they're disappointed, they're not happy. People around there are pushing this line about he's saying this because he's worried about his company. But we're not seeing a major rift. We're not seeing them briefing really hard against Elon Musk. We've not seen Donald Trump coming out on Truth Social yesterday going out. I mean, this doesn't feel like the divorce moment, if you know what I mean.
No, and I think that would take a lot. I don't really foresee that happening. And also, nobody in the White House was surprised. That's another piece of our reporting. People were expecting Musk to lash out in some way, shape, or form. They just weren't sure what the cause would be or what form it would take. So there's that aspect too. So there was some preparedness, even if not for the exact moment, but for this type of thing to happen.
In the meantime, this bill rumbles on. The Senate Republicans are gathering today for an all-member meeting to discuss how to move forward with it. No doubt Elon's name will come up a bit, but I guess they're just going to carry on with their process. I don't feel like Elon Musk is necessarily going to change the dynamic in the Senate or even the House if it heads back there as well.
No. And there's, again, a very different view, I think, that the Hill has of this White House versus Elon Musk. Like, Musk has never had that much sway on the Hill because everybody knows the buck ultimately stops with Trump.
Shall we go on to something lighter? I mean, it's pretty light talking about Elon Musk anyway, isn't it?
It's lighter than like the days of war and thunder that we've been talking about.
Yeah, war with the White House is our kind of war. Okay, I'll make a quick shout out happy birthday to Senator Mike Lee of Utah, who's another person who's on X a fair bit, I have observed since I got to the US. But you've got something else fun that you've spotted about the date today. Tell us that, Dasha.
Yes, Jack, an important anniversary today. It is the anniversary of the 19th Amendment that was passed June 4th, 1919, giving people like me, ladies, the right to vote. And in fact, my sister, who is graduating, is 18. She voted in her very first election in November. Very, very big deal. Do you remember your first vote?
I do. It was an awful lot longer ago than that, but it was a big change election in the UK in 1997. Certainly a big moment that everyone remembers. And yeah, you never forget it, right? You never forget it. Taking part in democracy is awesome, especially if you're a political geek like me.
I love seeing young people at the polls. It just makes me so happy.
Absolutely.
The next generation.
All right. Thank you very much, Dasha. That was awesome. That's all we've got time for on today's show. We have much more news and analysis, as always, in today's Playbook newsletter, which you can find at politico.com/playbook. And we'll be back tomorrow. Have a great Wednesday.
Thanks for listening.